What happens when a major airline is left waiting for an aircraft that could change its future, but it never arrives? This is the situation Cathay Pacific finds itself in with Boeing's 777X. For years, the airline had placed its hopes on this next-generation aircraft to reshape its long-haul fleet, but the continuous delays have turned those plans into uncertainty. Cathay Pacific had planned to replace its aging aircraft with the 777X, a promise of better fuel efficiency, advanced technology, and passenger comfort. But now, after years of waiting and repeated setbacks, the airline's patience has run out. With no clear timeline for delivery, Cathay Pacific has had enough. Their frustrations are now publicly voiced, making it clear that these delays are no longer just a minor inconvenience, they're a major problem that could reshape the airline's future and the entire aviation industry. The clock is ticking, and the pressure is mounting on Boeing. Before we dive into video, please subscribe our channel. Cathay Pacific, one of the biggest and most respected airlines in Asia, had placed a significant bet on Boeing's 777X aircraft to drive its future operations. This aircraft was supposed to be the backbone of their long-haul fleet, offering the latest in aviation technology, fuel efficiency, and passenger comfort. The airline had ordered 21 units, expecting that the 777X would replace older, less efficient aircraft and give Cathay a competitive edge in the increasingly crowded international aviation market. Boeing's promise of a game-changing aircraft seemed like the perfect solution to Cathay's fleet renewal needs. However, what was initially seen as a strategic investment has turned into a series of delays and missed deadlines. As the years passed, the excitement for the 777X slowly turned to frustration. The airline, which had built its future around this plane, now finds itself stuck with an outdated fleet, unsure of when or if Boeing will deliver. The delays in delivering Boeing's 777X have become a major headache for Cathay Pacific. The airline had placed its trust in the aircraft to replace its aging fleet and improve long-haul operations. However, with each new delay, Cathay's plans for modernization and growth have been put on hold. The absence of the 777X means that Cathay Pacific is forced to continue using older models that are less efficient, require more maintenance, and do not offer the same level of passenger comfort and fuel savings that the 777X promised. This not only affects the airline's ability to stay competitive in the market, but also increases operational costs. With no clear delivery date in sight, Cathay is left uncertain about its future plans, struggling to maintain its position in an industry where modern, efficient fleets are essential for success. The airline's long-term strategy has been compromised, and it's now looking for alternatives. Cathay Pacific's frustration with Boeing is more than just about delayed deliveries. It's about the deep sense of uncertainty that these delays have caused. For an airline that had carefully planned its future around the 777X, every missed deadline feels like a setback, both financially and operationally. The airline's leadership has worked hard to maintain trust with its passengers and partners, but these constant delays are beginning to erode that trust. As each year passes without the promised aircraft, the burden of maintaining an aging fleet grows heavier. The emotional toll is clear, not just in the corporate boardrooms, but in the airline's commitment to offering passengers the best flying experience. Cathay has been patient, but now that patience is running out. Their decision to voice their concerns publicly shows just how serious the situation has become. It's no longer about waiting, it's about survival in a fiercely competitive market. Cathay Pacific's frustration with Boeing reached a tipping point when the airline's chief customer and commercial officer, Alex made a blunt statement about the situation. He emphasized that the delivery timelines Boeing had provided were not simply estimates, but contractual obligations that needed to be met. Cathay Pacific had built its long-term plans around the 777X, expecting it to be the backbone of its fleet. However, with no clear timeline for delivery and continuous delays, the airline was forced to adjust its strategy. The stark reality hit when Cathay made a major aircraft order announcement. But this time, there was a noticeable absence of the 777X. Instead, the airline celebrated new commitments to Airbus models, particularly the A350, sending a clear message that their patience with Boeing was running thin. This was a direct signal to Boeing and the entire aviation industry that Cathay could no longer wait indefinitely for a plane that may never arrive. Boeing's 777X program has been plagued with issues from the very beginning. The aircraft's development, which was supposed to be a smooth transition into the next generation of long-haul aviation, has faced repeated setbacks. One of the biggest challenges was with the GE9X engines, which were touted as the most powerful commercial jet engines ever built. While the engines promised high efficiency, their development was far from easy, with unresolved durability concerns causing multiple delays. But the problems didn't stop there. In 2019, during a load test, the aircraft's cargo door detached, raising serious concerns about its structural integrity. This was followed by additional issues, including cracks discovered in essential components like the thrust link. Each new technical problem pushed back certification timelines, and now, Boeing faces further scrutiny from the Federal Aviation Administration, which is unwilling to approve the aircraft until every concern is resolved. As a result, the first delivery of the 777X isn't expected before 2026, and even that could be optimistic. These ongoing issues have left many customers, including Cathay Pacific, uncertain about whether Boeing can deliver as promised. With Boeing's 777X delays continuing, Cathay Pacific and other airlines have started exploring alternatives, and Airbus has emerged as a strong contender. The A350, which has already proven itself in service, offers similar benefits that the 777X promised: fuel efficiency, advanced technology, and improved passenger comfort, without the uncertainty of continuous delays. For Cathay Pacific, the A350 is a viable option to replace its aging fleet and align with its long-term goals of fleet modernization. Additionally, Airbus's A350-1000 model offers excellent range and efficiency for long-haul operations, making it a suitable choice for Cathay's global network. The A350's availability now, without the waiting game imposed by Boeing's delays, provides the airline with a solid, reliable alternative. Boeing's struggles have opened the door for Airbus to step in, and if Cathay and other major airlines start turning to Airbus, it could reshape the competitive landscape in the aviation industry. The delays in Boeing's 777X program are sending ripples throughout the aviation industry. Cathay Pacific's frustration is shared by other major airlines that had placed high hopes on the aircraft. And now, these airlines are beginning to reconsider their future fleet plans. As more airlines question Boeing's ability to deliver on time, many are starting to look at Airbus as a more reliable alternative. The A350, which has already entered service and demonstrated its capabilities, has become a key contender, offering the same benefits that the 777X was supposed to provide. If more airlines begin to shift their focus toward Airbus, this could lead to a major shift in market dynamics. Boeing, once seen as the industry leader in long-haul aircraft, could lose its competitive edge. The entire industry is watching closely, and Boeing's ability to respond to these delays will determine whether it can maintain its position or if Airbus will take over as the dominant player in the long-haul segment. Cathay Pacific, now faced with ongoing uncertainty about the 777X's delivery, is looking at alternative options to meet its fleet needs. The airline is reportedly in talks with both Boeing and Airbus to evaluate which aircraft will best support its long-term growth and operational strategy. With no clear delivery date for the 777X, Cathay Pacific cannot afford to wait any longer. As a result, the airline has been turning to the Airbus A350, which is already in service and has proven its reliability in long-haul operations. The A350's efficiency, advanced technology, and ability to meet Cathay's requirements make it an appealing alternative to the delayed 777X. If Cathay ultimately decides to move forward with Airbus, it would not just be a fleet change, but a statement about the importance of reliability and timely delivery in the airline industry. Boeing now faces the challenge of convincing Cathay and other airlines that they can still depend on the 777X and its future delivery timelines. Cathay Pacific's decision to voice its frustrations about Boeing's 777X delays marks a turning point in the airline's long-term strategy and the aviation industry as a whole. The question now is not just whether Boeing can deliver the 777X on time, but whether it can restore the trust of its key customers. As airlines like Cathay are forced to explore alternatives, the competition between Boeing and Airbus is intensifying. The longer Boeing fails to meet its commitments, the more likely it is that airlines will turn to Airbus for reliable, ready-to-go solutions like the A350. For Boeing, the clock is ticking. They must act quickly to regain the confidence of their customers, or risk losing their position as the leader in the wide-body market. This situation could reshape the future of long-haul air travel. What will Boeing do next, and will it be enough to stop the shift toward Airbus? Only time will tell.